Welcome to another episode of Trucker Talk. How you doing this day? Or let me come back. It's a beautiful Sunday, man. How are you doing today, my brother?
Brother, I'm good. I'm good. Everything's lovely.
Nice. How was your week?
Pretty good. It was actually real good this week. It was a slow week, so it was anytime it's slow, it's good.
Okay. My week was a little different. I ran up in the Bristol area, man, and what's funny is a buddy of mine, Brian. I ran with him a couple of days. Man, the temperature down here, like I wore shorts one day, and man, that next day I told him, I said, "Look, I ain't wearing no shorts. It's of course when you go up there, it's a little colder."
Yeah, it's amazing when you just go for what 40, 50, say 100, less than
40
100 miles. Not many miles.
Hey, it's a big difference in temperature.
Yeah,
Just say that. So,
totally.
but yeah, but now, man, I stayed at home today, watched the kiddos, and
Yep.
that message today, uh, by, by Mr. Coleman, man,
Yep. He
he
does it.
he touched on it, man. But the whole thing that stood out to me was, of course, he's talking about mental health, and then on the spiritual side of, when you're in your thoughts and kind of get, sometimes we can stay in our thoughts, and when you do that, you got to process them, man.
Yep.
If you don't process them and you just stay in them, and everybody's got their own way of, well, we got our own way of processing our thoughts, but I like the way he broke that down because he didn't really downplay, and he didn't downplay mental health because when other people speak about it, they downplay it.
And like I
So
say, with those, like I say, you get those deep thoughts like that, and they can take over.
yes, they can. So he did a good job today, man, and I love the message. So, but we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with the safety tip of the day. So before you hit the road, do a full pre-trip inspection. Check your tires, brakes, lights, and fluids. It only takes about 15 minutes, but you could save your life and others on the highway. Remember, safety isn't uh, part of your job; it is the job.
Exactly, and I like that too because in my job we do safety tests every month, but also because I'm not a driver, I can't speak on it, but I see how it could be so important. And also going back to free trips, check your mud flaps, make sure there's
Yes,
nothing hanging off, nothing that's going to come off, or mirrors that is just dangling, and so safety first because if something flies off and hits somebody, that could be like just a domino effect to like a multi-car pileup.
and it can happen fast because I tell you what, ever since going to nights, I used to think like when I was going to Atlanta with the other job, I would see wrecks. And I'm like, dang, at nights, man, I've probably seen more wrecks at nights than I've seen when I thought even at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy.
Visibility is low. That's the downside too. So yeah, and sometimes it's slightly sleepy. Who knows? But yeah, it happens. But so that's why we say be aware and don't drive when you're sleepy.
Well, that's I guess we can say, from our opinions, we can
Yeah,
say that, but I tell people all the time, man, like some of them truck drivers you see, I mean, sleep is important. Sleep is important. So me personally, I know how much sleep I can get to drive so many hours. A lot of people, we're all built different. So
hmm
some people I talk to, they be like, man, I got to get 8, 9 hours of sleep. And I'm thinking, I mean, we're all built different. So it all depends on the person. But yeah, you do need to get your rest, man. That is very, very important.
Well,
So
not on that too is if you don't get your rest, have sleepy, drowsy. That because I, in fact, we're gonna piggyback on this right quick. I used to drive back and forth to Alabama from Tennessee. Used to go to
okay.
Alabama quite a bit, and then we would travel sometime, and we take a vacation. Going say we're going to Florida, and I don't drive at night because I know I've fallen asleep before behind the wheel.
Wow.
Literally fell asleep, woke up, and it's like that was not good because time passes. You don't know how long you were out.
Right.
And I've have drifted on the wrong side of the road before. And I'm thinking, so now my own personal opinion of how I do it, I don't drive at night because I know when the sun goes down, my eyelids go down. So I said, I'd rather drive in this just blaring sun versus driving at night because when that sun goes down, they get sleepy. No matter how much water you drink, winds blowing, music up loud, dude, his body shuts down. So just from a safety standpoint, know what your limitations are when you're driving.
Correct.
That's like I say, we all are different. And I know when I realized I was sleeping, or we call it dozing off,
Goes on.
that's not good. It doesn't matter how many seconds it was, because that could be between your life and somebody else's life.
Correct. Correct.
All
I
right,
like-
cool.
I like that, man. And so I like that. I like that. Recap of last week. Love itself isn't the problem. Who or what we choose to love often is. We get stuck trying to receive relationships that stopped growing a long time ago. When something is no longer healthy, no amount of effort will make it flourish again.
True.
Real love should feel like growth, not draining. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is stop watering what's already dead and make room for something new to bloom. I like that one.
That is awesome. And it
Um,
goes for not necessarily, we brought this up last week, not necessarily for men or women, it's both parties.
Yes, both parties, yes. Healing begins when you recognize your worth and stop trying to fix what was never meant to last. Man,
My goodness.
we're gonna go ahead and bust into this, man. Today we're gonna talk about expectations. So, what are expectations? And before I dive into this, man, each individual, every one of us, and I had at 41, I'm learning. It took me this long to learn, but it's like, I live by myself, and keeping my house a certain way. I keep everything just my expectations.
Yeah.
So when I have people come over, it's like at the end of the day, in my head, I got my own expectation. Like touch this, don't touch. We're funny about things. So give me a take on expectations before I dive into
I'm
this.
gonna piggyback on this, and we talked about this a long time ago. I actually talked about this in between your jobs, and just had this brainstorm. It's like, yeah, man, I think I'm gonna get a roommate, and I said, no, you're not, because I know how you are. We talk about expectations.
I can't, man. Hold on, let me just my head. Go ahead.
Real quick. You're not gonna get a roommate. I know you well enough to know you're not gonna have a roommate, no matter who it is, unless it's your twin. Another a twin of yours is a duplicate of you, 100%. You're not gonna have a roommate, no matter how they are. You're not gonna have another roommate, because I know how you are. I've been knowing you long enough to know that. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, he hurt my feelings, y'all. By the way, I listen. I was brainstorming. I was in a good mood and a good headspace. And he's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "But give me." He's like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "I'm open to." He's like, "Nope." He's like, "Just get that out your head. Don't think about it." So I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But you was right, because the more I thought about it, the more anxiety I got. I was like, "Why am I thinking about that?" So it was a fleeting thought. So. Expectations. Let's get into these expectations. Expectations are the standards, hopes, or assumptions we carry, often without realizing it. Expectation comes from family upbringing, culture, past experiences, how we project our own habits or values onto others. Just because you do it for them doesn't mean they would do that for you.
It's good. I like
So,
that.
but man, I it's a subject, man, because it's like I give you an example, and Malachi, I love you, Malachi, but I remember when I had my Camry, he had his car, he had a Jetta, but I was honest with him. Every time we had to get his car serviced, I said, Malachi, I said, and these are Matthew's expectations. I said, I can leave you a full tank of gas. The car is always clean, because I'm particular. I wipe everything down. I take the car to the car wash. So I finally told him, I said, look, I said, when you bring that Camry back to me, I expect the car to be clean. It'll be a full tank of gas. And I don't want to see no crumbs on the floor, no like Coke stains, whatever on the seats. So, but those are my expectations. But I let it be known. But I, just not trying to tell him what to do, but I let him know that's what my expectation was. So,
And again, sometimes we get disappointed.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know.
I communicated though. I
You did.
communicated. So
You did. But your expectation more his.
hey, he was like, man, I got my car back. He's like, Daddy, here you go, boo. Let me drop it off. So he dropped it off. He may,
Yeah.
and I ain't try. I love you, man. I ain't try to talk about it. He might drop it off. It might be a quarter of a tank. He may have just not some trash, but like something in the back seat. Stain, he may have spilled a Sprite or something, and seat might be sticky. I'm like, hold on, man, come on now, let's just give it to me the way that I gave it to you. And, we just switch. So, but here's the double-edged sword when it comes to expectations. So, the difference between healthy expectations, you got your boundaries. Boundaries always come up, man. That's a strong topic. But boundaries, standards, self-respect, and unrealistic expectations. So the unrealistic expectations, you got, the control, the assumptions, and the entitlement. So how unmet expectations lead to disappointment, resentment, and burnout. It applies across, relationships, expecting love without communication. Now you look at it from a work standpoint, you got without communicate like work, expecting recognition without consistency. As far as with your family, you're expecting understanding without conversation. So as far as with yourself, you're you're expecting growth without discipline.
Whew, my goodness.
I mean,
those things are 100% truth, though. And then, you think about it, bottom line is all the forms of communication.
Yes.
Simple as that. Communicating.
Communication is, I don't even think that should have been like a whole class in school. I don't think they taught that in school. We had geography, math, science, but I think communication should be, because me and another friend had this conversation actually yesterday when I was on my way back from Virginia. Wow. And he was, we had an open dialogue and just talking about communication, how he's communicate, how company he works for, the biggest problem is communication. And with his loads and the backhauls and all that. And I was like, it rings a bell in me, because all of the companies that I've worked for, the main problem was communication. And it's like, go to all these different corporations or different companies and you work for them, but they all lack in the same department. Like, how is that?
It's kind of difficult. Well, my company, which is big on communication, and
Okay.
we talk about communication all the time. But then the failure sometimes, that bridge, that gap, is a lack of communication. Because for example, if you have these things to be done without being communicated, this needs to be done. Don't have expectations. If you didn't tell me, how am I can't. Yeah, I think you just brought that up. Is reading minds. Nobody can read another.
Can't read another person's mind. No.
At least I can't. I can't do that. So without trying to say, downplay the situation. Say, well, I was never told. I was never communicated about this.
Right.
But your expectations is like sky high. But I can't even go halfway because I had no idea of what you actually wanted from the beginning.
Right.
And that goes along with our relationships as well.
Yeah.
Goes with the relationships a lot, or just any kind of communicating, family matters, work, just like you just said, work,
yep.
Relationships, it's just anything. Take your car to the shop. If you don't communicate what's wrong, they're like, what's wrong? Well, I don't know. Well, why are you bringing it? I don't know. Tell me something so I can know where to start from,
Yeah, and normally they'll troubleshoot and look at it, but gotta give them something.
Give them something to work with. It's like, was it making noise? I don't know. Well, why is it here? I don't know. It ain't running. It ain't running right. Well, where do we start from? Is it the brakes? Is it the engine? You got a knocking in it, or is it out of gas?
Right. They drove today. They drove. You can't do this, but they drove it down there in neutral, and they just rode it down the street. Here you go.
Oh, we just make light jokes about this stuff, but yeah, communication is just a big factor.
It's a big factor, man. And so, expectations versus reality. So, life doesn't always beat your timeline. that doesn't mean that you failed. The dangers of comparison. That's the dangers of comparison is expecting your life to look like somebody else's, and this one of the things when I was younger I would do, man. But as I've gotten older, I've learned that I don't compare myself to nobody because we're all on our own time. And I know people, I know a lot of people that's got money. I know a lot of people that are very successful, but people don't see the other side of their lifestyle and the depression and money. Don't, I mean, money makes life easier. Money can, I ain't gonna say money may buy some people happiness, but money, money don't fix all your problems. You got people that's billionaires and millionaires and they still got, we all got problems.
Yes. Almost it seems like sometimes money magnifies
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it magnifies it.
Yeah.
More problems, more money, more problems.
I think it's what Biggie Small said.
Yeah, but it's good to have. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have a lot of money, but again, think about we talk expectations. Don't expect money to solve all your problems.
It don't. I forgot what celebrity. I ain't even gonna try to quote it because I'll mess it up. One of the celebrities said something about if everybody could have money, give them, they think money will fix all their problems. Let them all be rich. I forgot Will Smith. Somebody said it, but I have to look at it and come back to that one. But how adjusting expectations, peace and mature, like as far as when you stop expecting in others to be perfect, life gets a lot lighter. So I'm trying to think of where I'm trying to go with this. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next one. Healthy expectations and communication. So set clear boundaries instead of silent hopes. Communicate what you need. Don't assume people know. So replace disappointment with understanding. Most people give what they can, not what you expect. So what you need to tell people is like, it's like, and here's an example. So you be like, here's what I need from you instead of saying you should have known. And I've been in situations where, like you said, people assume, and like you said, I don't have a when I'm with an 8 ball.
Yeah.
I'm not a mind reader. So as I've gotten older, I don't assume anymore. So I kind of sit back and I kind of just, pitch and catch. And I'm like, okay, let me ask, let me be more transparent and let me not get my point across, but I want to communicate to where you can understand where I'm coming from.
Right, and it is. That's the biggest thing. Is, it's just life itself. I think is communicating. You hear this all the time. And going back to with the expectations, it's like, well, I never knew, but I'll assume you knew. People always say that. Well, you should have known. Well, how?
Right.
How? How should I have known? You thought it. I can't read your mind. You had it in your mind all the time. So
Right.
you assume I knew, but you never told me in words that you just what you wanted. You just assume I knew because you thought I did, and you knew.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one. This is good. This is good. This is good.
Well, it is. I mean, because you look at what's going on in the world. You look at the world, and in general, man, just and I this is maybe a silly example, but I can like be propping the door open somebody, and and I know you going in and out of gas station stuff. You go to prop the door open. You can assume, somebody may or may not be coming in, but 9 times out of 10 they may be like, hey, I'm gonna smoke. You know what I mean? Or I appreciate it. Some people are nice about it, and other people they're not so nice about it. So
very true. Good example.
but realizing or releasing unrealistic expectations. So talk about letting go, not lowering your standards, but releasing control. Peace comes when you accept reality instead of fighting it. How faith and patience and perspective help manages expectations. As far as the takeaway, man, expectations, there aren't bad, George. It's how we handle them that matters. And so I think I mean, everybody's got a younger version of themselves. And me, I have as I'm growing older and going to therapy and growing spiritually and working on my some of the things from my childhood that I struggle with. When it comes to expectations, I've learned to not because I don't. I guess it's a different. It's the point of view that you look at it from because you can look at it from two different point of views. You can be more. You can allow grace or be nice. I mean, you can allow grace and understanding, or you can just be stuck in that one track mind and be like, "Oh, this is what way I do things, and this how things are going to be." So with me, I'm growing and learning, and I'm allowing myself to have grace and kind of look at it from a different point of view because when you got everybody in this world, like, and I don't know if you do it, but I'm always looking. I'm a people watcher,
Yes.
and so people they move different. So you got people that drive fast, people that drive slow. You got people you don't know what's on people's minds. So it's like you can't assume. I mean, you can trigger somebody or send somebody the wrong way with the wrong body mood, or you cut them off or something like that. So going back to expectations, like me, now I've learned to just kind of sit back. I'm like, okay, when I encounter conflict or something like that, I just kind of be like, okay, once I encounter that, I'm like, okay, let me step back. I mean, you don't know what they got on their mind or what's going on in their life. So it's challenging though, man.
That's goes back to the thing is, do you react or do you respond?
That's good. But you saying that, here's the thing that I learned years ago. People, well, like if people do things to you, you can never tell somebody how to respond. Like if somebody, not saying if somebody punches you, somebody hits you, but if somebody do something to you and then you respond a certain way, they're like, I can't believe you respond.
Yeah.
It's like they'd be like, I can't believe you responded. It's like you can't tell me
Yes.
how to respond because I'm going to respond the way that I guess in my own personal opinion, way I feel like I need to respond. But you can't expect me to respond like in a soft way.
Expectations. Yes.
So, and I've never thought like that. Like with me, I'm just more careful now with people I encounter and stuff like that. Because man, people pull out they road rage, man, and
It's
you
awful.
hear about these things and these incidents and stuff like that. So with me, I don't like I ain't. I'm driving Matthews. My vision. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to cut nobody off. I'm not in that big of a hurry. You want to speed past me? Go speed past me.
That's true. And I've learned to try to, going back to respond or react. Normally I try to respond because reaction is like what is it called? The knee jerk reaction.
Yes.
If the stove is hot, you pull your hands back. Just as for that example, but if you react to somebody or something, and if you react, you didn't. It was an impulse reaction. It was a
Right.
movement. But if I sit back and let me just process this for a couple of seconds before I react, let me respond to it
Right.
in a more logical way. And
Correct.
try to reduce conflict or whatever situation is. So that's why I always use that little metaphor for do you respond or do you react to a situation?
Yeah. And there again, other people, everybody responds differently, and it's like you can tell. And I've learned as I've been working on myself. I learned, and just like different people I encounter, it's how they respond with stuff. How I've been around all types of people, and people are high strung, they're low strung,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I feel it. I'm like, man, this mug, he's high strung. So
Yeah.
when I feel that, I'm just like, I gotta kind of just just calm
Wind
it
it
down. So
down.
I'm like, nah, I can't like. I just not that I can't do it, man. So, but
We talk
I'm
about this too.
smart.
It's just like I think our Pastor Austin talked about this as well. With people, you just never know what's going on in people's lives. I mean,
Right.
you just can't assume everything is all nice with everybody because just like when we all got stuff going on in our lives, so nobody knows about our problems, or
Correct.
what we got going on. So, we look at people driving. I tell you all the time, you say, man, this person they just weaving. I say, okay, don't react, respond, step back, give them that space
Right.
because we don't know what's going on in their mind. So let them do their thing and give yourself enough space to respond to whatever they do versus reacting if they just decide to swerve in front of you or
Man,
something. And I mean, you tell me all the time, it's like, man, this
all the
person
time.
they driving crazy. What are they doing? I'm thinking, well, Your best bet is to get them about 4 or 5 car spaces. You're not gonna be able to stop that truck as fast as you're gonna have to react instead of respond. I'd
Yes,
rather you
sir.
respond than to react to their swerving. So give them space. Let them have 10 spaces because you don't know what's gonna happen or what they got going on in their life right then. You know, they're arguing with the boyfriend, the spouse, the significant other, the children on the phone yelling, you know, so give them space.
I tell you, this is the but they say curiosity killed the cat. This is the bad. I'm not gonna say the bad side of me, but I do this because I'm a truck driver. I gotta find out what's going on. So me, Lord forgive me. I'll drive over her and I'm sitting here like, and I'll pull up and I'm just like, what are they? So they'll either be eating, they'll either be on the phone, they got their little phone watching them a little movie. But man, you surprised some of the truck drivers, they'll have like a whole, I ain't gonna say like a 10-course meal. They have a plate and they just like this watching.
Eating
I'm sitting
drive,
here like, how can you eat? How do you eat? You got your little phone watching your little movie and you drive. Like, who does that? But I see it all the time.
Talk about driving
Crazy,
safe.
man.
Talking about driving safety first. Yep, it happens.
You gonna kill? It's like pull over and eat. Take
Yeah.
your 30-minute break before you kill somebody.
Guess
man.
what? They're in a hurry. They got a timeline to be a certain place. Expectations.
I ain't
I
never in that
expect you
big
to
of a
be
hurry.
there by this time. You got to be there by that time. Well, they expect me to be there by this time. I don't have time to stop. I can't go to the bathroom. I wait till I get there. So that kind of sums everything up. You know?
Man, people wild, man. They do what they do. So
we are human.
but yeah, man. But as we always say, you know, we conversate, we converse back and forth and give our different opinions about things. And you all have any suggestions or anything we could do to, I guess, what they call it, spice it up or add to the podcast, please give suggestions or whatnot.
Or their opinion.
In your opinion.
Yeah. Because it's all about opinions.
Yes.
And we're not 100% right. At least I'm not. I'm not 100% right about any of this. It's just my experiences, what I've gone through and what I've dealt with and what I see.
Correct. And same here. You know, I'm just 41. So, but they say I got more years behind me than I got ahead. Well, I can't. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, is anything? If anybody want to talk about or drop in the comments below, anything, any situations where a certain individual, or whether it's your mother, or whether it's your parents, your friends, or your employer had certain expectations for you, just drop a story or just drop a little paragraph, and we can comment or piggyback off of that. So, but as always, you got anything you want to add, George?
Man, we are good. Hope everybody have a safe rest of the week.
Yes, and drive safe, and don't be eating and driving.
It's the drip from Miss Strozar.